Do you see this? This is real life. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, if you can look right here, is all about my birthday. Today is my birthday. Yes. And I decided to make my own birthday cake. It is a 3-tiered Funfetti cake. Everything is homemade. I made my own recipe for the Funfetti cake because I was looking at 3 different recipes. All of them had something I did not like. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to make my own recipe. So I just combined all 3 of them into one, and it actually turned out pretty well. I made my own buttercream icing, and I also did the orange icing using food coloring. So I used 1:1 ratio of red and yellow food coloring. That was exciting because orange is my favorite color. I had extra batter left over, so I made a tester. So as you can see, it's kind of faded with the orange and the white. I love my shirt. So there's Quarantine Birthday Queen. My friend Tiara, she has a Etsy account and an Instagram. I will link that below. Check her out. She makes all custom shirts, bead, bags, masks now. Like, just please stay tuned and watch to see how I make my own cake. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please wish me a happy birthday in the comments. Like, today is my birthday. Go follow me on Instagram. Also, I'll link that below, and also I will put it across the screen as well. So if you want to see how I made my 29th birthday cake, please stay tuned. Egg whites, butter, sour cream, flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder and salt, vanilla extract, and whole milk. Let's get started. We're going to take 2 eggs and separate the yolk because we only want the egg whites. We'll use this later on in the recipe. I put the egg whites in my KitchenAid mixer. You can use a hand mixer if that's what you have available. And we're just going to let it mix up. And this is what it looks like once it is completed. And we're just going to sit it to the side. So next we're going to add in our 3 sticks of room temperature non-salted butter. And also we're going to add 1 3/4 cups of a sugar. And we're just going to mix that together. This is me pouring in the flour. It was my mistake. I realized that I should have did all wet ingredients, then dry ingredients. So that's why you see the mess. So this is what it looks like when I added the flour. And here we have a visitor. He loves to watch me when I bake. He can get in the way, but I enjoy it. So I'm just adding in some more ingredients while talking to him. And now we're going to add 1 cup of milk. And then we're going to add 2 eggs. So in total, the recipe called for 2 eggs and 2 egg whites. And next, we're going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. And let that mix together. I'm just scraping the sides, and now we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream. I did add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt off camera that I did not record. So now that we have all our ingredients together, we're just going to let it mix. Now we're going to fold in those egg whites that we did at the beginning. So I just folded it in, and then I let the KitchenAid mixer mix it together as well. This allowed it to be fluffy. So I was trying to get the batter off of the blade, so I tried to spin it a little bit faster while lifting it. This is what happens. Do you see this? Cake batter everywhere, even in my hair. Oh goodness. On my arm, side, elbows. This is real life. So now we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of Jimmy sprinkles. Make sure that you use Jimmy sprinkles, because if you don't, it will bleed through your batter. So next I'm going to prepare my pans and add the batter throughout my pans. Here I was using 6-inch baking pans, but if you want, you could use 8-inch or 9-inch. I think this will make enough batter for sizes as well. So now I'm just making sure it's even. Since it's even, we will now put it into a oven, 350 degrees for 35 minutes. Just want to make sure you can put a toothpick through the middle and make sure it comes out clean. So now we're going to start on our buttercream icing. We're going to use 4 cups of powdered sugar. We're going to use 2 sticks of softened butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 2 tablespoons of milk. And that's all you really need to make homemade buttercream. Very simple, yet so amazing. So now I'm just going to gradually add in my powdered sugar and let this mix together. So this is what your icing should look like once you add in all the sugar. Here's what my cakes look like after being baked. Once they cooled off, I did remove them out the pan. So with my cake, I did use piping bags and a tip. So I just put it inside of a cup to make it easier to add in the buttercream. So now we're going to level our cakes. You want to take a serrated knife and go across the top of the cake just to make sure that it's even across. We're going to do this with every layer. And we're just going to spread icing in between each layer. I decided to try to smooth it out. I know videos I watched, they just left it how it was when it came out of the piping bag. So now I'm just going to repeat this step for each layer. I did do a 3-tiered cake. This is my final layer. So now I'm going to start piping the sides. So my cake pan is a turnstile cake stand. So it makes it easier for you just to turn the stand and pipe the sides. So this layer here will be our crumb layer. It's basically to make sure the crumbs stick to just this coat. And once we continue to add on the icing, it will not transfer to the different layers. And this is what our crumb layer looks like. Just a thin layer. So now I'm just going to continue to add on icing to get that clean outer look that I'm looking for. At this stage, my bag started leaking from all different types of seams, so that's why I'm holding it as tight as I am. So you're just going to repeat this step until you get outer to look as clean and neat as you would like. This did take up a lot of time, so just know that this step will use most of your time. It all depends on your view and outlook of how you want your cake to look like. So as you can see, I have it almost perfect. You can still see some of the cake. So I just wanted to go back across those areas. So now I'm going to transfer my cake to a regular cake stand. And now time for decoration. I got these sprinkles from Michael's, and I'm just going to put them at the bottom of my cake. This process was a little bit harder because I realized I should have let it cool some and then added the sprinkles. So this is what it looks like at the bottom. I'm just going to do some swirls on the top of the cake. I did make this orange color out of food coloring. And I added my topper I got off of Amazon. I'm just going to put some icing in front of the holder. And this is the final product of my birthday cake.